At the time of independence in 1947, West Bengal was one of India's biggest economic powerhouse, with Kolkata serving as the country's commercial capital and industries like jute, tea and engineering driving growth. However, partition disrupted supply chains and triggered a long period of industrial decline. And today in 2026, West Bengal remains India's sixth largest state economy with an estimated GSDP of over rupees 20 lakh crore. Now let's take a detailed look at the economic comparison between 1947 versus 2026. I will be going over to the big wall over there to explain to you what exactly does this mean, because once upon a time West Bengal was an economic capital of the country and it was a major contributor, but now its ranking is 6th in the entire country. So what does that mean in terms of development? West Bengal is lagging behind. So obviously a huge focus of the current government is to make sure there's an industry push. There's also a focus on education, healthcare, and in terms of development in general. Now in terms of that, let's take a look at what exactly is the comparison between sex ratio in 1947 and 2026. In 1947, it was 865 females per 1,000 males. On the other hand, in 2026, the figure has improved, which is 950 to 955 females per 1,000 males. So that's the comparison in terms of 1947, what the sex ratio was, and 2026. When we talk about that, obviously all eyes are on the BJP's budget that is set to be tabled shortly. But when we talk about that, obviously the Suvendu-led government is focusing on a lot of things. As Swapna Dasgupta has said, that he explained his vision, that this is like a Marshall Plan. He wants to make sure that the revenue is generated without impacting and being a burden on the state exchequer, and there's the debt burden is reduced without being a burden on the state as well. And when we talk about GDP, GDP is rupees 1,000 to rupees 1,200 crore in 1947, which is an estimate what we're talking about, and rupees 21.48 lakh crore estimate in 2026. When we talk about per capita income, it's rupees 300 to 350 in 1947 and rupees 203 to rupees 203 to 600 to 2026. That's the per capita income. So that's an increase that we are seeing in fiscal deficit. It's rupees 9,603 crore, which was earliest standardized available in 1947, and currently it's 62,424 crore. So that's the fiscal deficit which we were talking about. Now talking about revenue deficit, it's around 17,940 crore, which was the earliest detailed in 1947. That's the data that is available. And when we talk about 2026, it's 21,759 crore. So obviously these points are important when we talk about what could be the key highlights in terms of this. A lot of push is in terms of the center's schemes being implemented in West Bengal, and BJP's vision that Sonar Bangla should return, and there should be a golden era should return to West Bengal. And in terms of this, we have seen several developments being made. We have seen that in terms of when we talk about the BJP Sankalp Patra, they also focus on dearness allowances as well. They said that one of the priorities is they want to bring it back as well. The Lakshmi Bhandar is one of the things that was important consideration that was taken by the BJP government as well. Now back on the telecast is Jweta Basu. Jweta, in terms of education, how do you think that the current BJP government will be focusing on that? Because it's just not the fact how much allocation would be given, but also making sure the institution, the trust in the institution, and bringing it to the former glory. How do you think the current government will be focusing on that, keeping all the challenges in mind?
You see, what we have witnessed in West Bengal is a deterioration when it comes to deterioration in the school boards that the schools run by the state government. Because you see, there are primarily three boards in West Bengal currently. There is ICSE, of course, there is CBSE, but the main education when it comes to West Bengal, it has been the West Bengal Secondary and Higher Secondary Board. The thing is, it used to be a very good state board. They used to, I would say, impart very good education. But what has happened over the years is that CBSE, especially when it comes to English medium schools, CBSE has totally taken precedence. Even ICSE is not there. It is CBSE all the way when it comes to English medium schools. Majority of the English medium schools have shifted from West Bengal State Board to the CBSE. But West Bengal State Board used to be really good at one point of a time. And right now, primarily, it is the Bengali medium schools, which they have a huge number. I mean, don't think in terms of Bengal, in terms of the other states, primarily in North India. Bengal has always had a very strong education fundamentals for a very long time. But the Bengal's problem has been unionism. And you see, student union movement and all that also has taken very strong root in when it comes to the colleges in particular. There are several universities in Bengal. There are engineering colleges. There's a separate West Bengal joint entrance examination that happens where all the students go in for places like Jadavpur University. There's a Shibpur Engineering College. There's a North Bengal Engineering. There's Durga. Several engineering colleges are there. So I think, but this they will have to first of all remove this control of the unions that are there and the political party control that is there. That is something they will have to do. They will have to improve when the state board in particular, the quality has to go back to in terms of the good quality education that they used to impart once upon a time. So there's a lot of reviving to be done in the education sector, and of course hiring of teachers and all. Let's hope something will be coming in for the teachers, because we all know that the scams that have taken place. You see, Bengal used to be, I mean, there's Bengal had so much, but it's the political parties who have spoiled that state, destroyed that state completely. So they have, Suvendu's government has a lot of work to do. Every sector, education in particular.
And Joyita, my last question to you is that we've earlier seen Suvendu Adhikari talked about several scams that took place in the previous government, and he also pointed out that the state gained infamy due to the recruitment policies, recruitment scams as well. We've seen how the protest by teachers. In terms of that, he stated that he's going to introduce a new recruitment policy. What are your thoughts regarding that? How would it benefit going forward? Because we have seen several protests that were held in terms of this as well.
You see, 26,000 teachers lost their job. It's not a matter of joke. And all because some of them, 26,000 people did not use foul means to get their jobs. So you see, the examination process has to be transparent and foolproof, because even the Mamta government had introduced what was, that computerized mark system. But the fact of that matter is that they had access. And I know for certain there were many cases where access, first of all, they were not coming out with those OMR sheets. Okay. And apart from that, they had access in a manner, a lot of, I would say, meddling happened and foul play happened with those OMR sheets and also. So they will have to not only go for, and this applies to the whole country if you look at it. Say there's so much uproar over the NEET. So, and in particular, examination process, recruitment process, all these things will have to be cleaned up, and it has to be transparent, and it has to be ensured that nobody has access to any sort of means by which the genuine merit and the genuine candidates are kind of sidelined. That should not happen.
All right, Joyita, thank you so much for joining me on the telecast and obviously your input on that story. And moving on.